Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Don't Argue here. Hope you guys are well. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new, you know the usual. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you're one of the people who constantly checks in and tunes in with me, I appreciate it very much. Thank you for your support. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone as well. I've surpassed 50 plus subscribers, which is cool. Watch out because I'm going to say something really cliche now. Let's keep the ball rolling until we get a goal, right? Obviously, the next aim now is to 100, and we'll just go with that. So, look, inside that, thank you, but we'll get into it. Freo, anyway, there's been a few key misses, particularly in Fyfe as well. Obviously, a lot of us were probably hoping they'd be back by round 2, even round 1 as well, right? The week before. But not to be. But what I want to do is basically run through the teams that are playing each other, give you guys my thoughts, probably, sort of wrestle out some key players as well, give you guys my predictions, and then basically give you guys a conclusion. So without further ado, we'll get into it. So I'll go for St Kilda first. So St Kilda, they've got Callum Wilkie, Josh Battle, Darragh Joyce, fullbacks, and the halfbacks are Jack Sinclair, Daniel McKenzie, Jimmy Webster. Centres are Nazaya Wanganeen Milera, Brad Crouch, Bradley Hill, and the half forwards are Jade Grisham, Tim Membry, and Ben Payton. Full forwards are Dan Butler, Max King, Jack Hayes, and the followers are Rowan Marshall, Sebastian Ross, Jack Steele. Interchange, Jack Higgins, Jared Leonard, Mason Wood, Ryan Burns, and emergencies are Cooper Sharman, Ben Long, Tom Campbell, as well as Tom Highmore. That is the Saints team. For Fremantle, we have at the fullbacks, we have Joel Hamling, good to see by the way, Alex Pearce, Griffin Logue. Halfbacks are Hayden Young, Darcy Tucker, Jordan Clark. Centres are Michael Frederick, Andrew Barryshaw, as well as Blake Acres. And then the half forwards, you've got Travis Coyler, Sam Switkowski, Lockie Schultz. And then the full forwards, Lloyd Meek, Rory Lobb, as well as Bailey Banfield. The followers are Sean Dancy, good to see him back, Caleb Sarong, as well as Michael Walters. Interchange, Luke Ryan, James Aish, Heath Chapman, Will Brodie, and then your emergencies, Nathan O'Driscoll, Josh Tracy, Liam Henry, Brandon Walker. Obviously, there was a lot of noise as well, particularly pointing at O'Driscoll, where we as a collective thought that he would be playing or debuting, but not to be the case. But hey, in emergency, you'll have to wait and see what happens. The key ins obviously are James Aish, Joel Hamling, and Sean Dancy. I'm actually pretty happy to see Hamling play now. I say this with all sincerity. I hope he does not get injured. He has a lot to offer, but unfortunately, when he is not fit, it's not great for us. It's not great for him. It's been over 300 plus days since he last played for us. I'm not sure how things are working regarding his contract and all that stuff there, but I'm pretty sure Freo won him, but they want him fit. So I think it's almost the last roll of the dice, I think. Joel Hamling, James Aish as well, and Sean Darcy back from injury. Good to see our number one ruckman back, which is always a good sign. So the outs for Freo are Brendan Cox, David Mundy, both of them in health and safety protocols. I'm not going to get into the gist of my thoughts there, but it's tough. It's tough. Hopefully the rules can sort of be a bit more flexible in due time. And then you've got Josh Tracy and Liam Henry. Look, quickly before I get into my thoughts on the team, I thought Josh Tracy and Liam Henry, watching it live as well, being there, look, I understand why they were omitted, particularly Liam Henry. In terms of comparing him to Hayden Young as well as Sarong, they all got picked in the same class, even Michael Frederick. I just don't know why, but it just seems like he can't reach that second step, whereas Young, Sarong, and Frederick are all on step 3 and 4 probably. He hasn't even moved from step 1 yet, or he's probably at step 1.5 going on to 2. But you see, by that time, the boys are already 4, 5, 6, and I don't really know why. What are your sort of thoughts on Liam Henry? Like I said, I like him. I can see the brilliance there in pieces, but again, we don't need little demo pieces, demo versions of it. We need the full thing. Obviously, you pick him because you hope he's like the second coming of, Sonny, but at the same time, if he's not producing it, it's not good to see. And obviously, with being such a high draft pick, I know Freo have tried to mold him, and I know they've tried to work on him. But for me personally, look, I want to see him succeed, but it is tough, So I'll just leave it at that. Give me your thoughts though. I thought on the team. Guys, this team here, good. Look, last week, just to quickly go off, we did so well in the third quarter where Crows had fluidity. There was basically no stoppage. There was no nothing. Like, we let the Crows, the Crows had their way with us in the third. Obviously, Freo did well to fight back. It shows that preseason and stuff did not fall on deaf ears, hasn't gone astray, wasn't used in vain. But ultimately, Crows did come back in the third. I'm not sure how you feel about that. Whether you're still optimistic or whether probably a bit of a pessimist there regarding what the future may hold. But in saying that, we came out in the fourth and won. Now, this squad here, for me in particular, looks good. Overall, though, like I said, we got to stop things like that. Like when the opposition get a lot of ball, when they get movement, we need to stop it. And like I said, I always go into the third quarter because as a Freo fan, it is concerning. No, it's just round one. I get it. But at the same time, you still got to address this. And I'm pretty sure Longmuir did with his boys. Now, and like I said, overall, a decent squad. You got Hamling back, Pierce and Grove, and Logue as well. Dare I say, there's the three musketeers, the three brothers we need, and I'm happy they're back. And if these guys can really do their thing, oh boy, let us celebrate. Look, obviously in the centres, you got Brayshaw, Frederick, as well as Akers. I really love Brayshaw, the way he's playing. Again, Frederick, good. But in saying that, again, probably needs a little bit of work just regarding the goals. But besides that, he's good. Obviously, good to see Lob, Banfield as well, Sarong, Walters, the names there as well, go on and on, which is good to see. Hayden Young, Darcy Tucker, Jordan Clark, beautiful. And then obviously you got Will Brodie, Chapman, and so on and so forth. It's a good squad. I've got 5 players I've picked out for both squads, and then you just tell me how you feel, yeah? So I'll go Fremantle first. So Fremantle, top 5. You got Andy Brayshaw, particularly with Mundy out, particularly with Fyfe out. I am assuming that this is the next captain, right? So I'll be surprised. Look, who is captain? I personally want to give it to Michael Walters. I'll give it to Brayshaw. You got to let him, have a test, have a see, have a feel. But I'll give it to Brayshaw. Anyway, with Fyfe out, with Mundy out, isn't this a time to step up and really show your worth? And this is not just to Brayshaw either. This is to Sarong. This is to your Youngs, your Jordan Clarks, your Meeks, your Banfields. Again, the boys there need a lift. This is not great for Freo in regards to having a full-strength squad, but in terms of the psychology revolving around it, it's good to see, because then we're going to have to see the real boys here. Because, hey, let's be honest now, this is a really weak squad, particularly with Mundy and Fyfe out. Mundy, to me, he's the man. He can never do anything wrong. So with him being out too, and Fyfe, a lot of big shoes to fill. So can they do it? Another one as well is Hayden Young. Again, his game was superb last week, I thought anyway. One of the better players. That big left boot, underrated. Love to see it. Number 2. And then number 3 as well, another one, Jordan Clark. I think he's going to be really vital as well, especially from the pushback as well, right? Going forward after defending. It's going to be good to see him go there. Another player as well I have that comes into mind is going to be, for me, Lockie Schultz. We love Lockie Schultz. Who does not love Lockie Schultz? He's probably our best goal kicker by far in terms of accuracy. He just has it going for him. And obviously, came clutch in the end to win us the game. And then basically the last one, I think for me, another player to look out for is Caleb Sarong. Caleb Sarong is going to have, I think, a big game. I think he'll have a big game. He played okay last week, but by his standards, he can level up a bit, But again, honourable mentions go out to Sean Darcy, and I'll say even Michael Frederick, and maybe even chucking Heath Chapman in there as well as players to watch. So for the Saints, 5 players to watch. Obviously, look, for me, it goes Jack Steele. It'll be Jack Sinclair, Nazaya Wanganeen, Millera. Watch him as well. Fast, speedy player. Dan Butler as well as Max King. Those are the 5 players you want to look out for. Again, with the Saints, when they lost to Collingwood, there were tears. There were a lot of tears. And I touched on it before, but I bring it up again. The psychology revolving players and emotion is something that we should not underrate. Saints are hurting, right? They're going to be coming out with their haymaker. They're ready to punch. They're ready to go at it. How do we, in turn, respond? How do we, particularly if they're looking to just barrage us, just absolute barrage after attack after attack, if they're just looking just to do that, how do we defend? How do we sort of regain composure? Again, I almost feel like the Crows set a little bit of a blueprint there on how to beat us. It wasn't great. Can we rectify it? I'm sure we can. Again, it was just round 1, but still the evidence is there. That is how you do it. Fast-paced footy, and we're almost lost. So we need to react to that. We need to stop that. We need to fill and stop that basic hole. And like I said, the Saints, they're hurting, right? They are hurting. I'm not sure what the coach has in there for the boys there, honestly. But I know they're G'd up for sure, right? You lost at home, not great, but hey, you get to try and spoil another team's home game. And to be honest, I don't want us to lose that game. Our strengths. Well, for us, looks basically our strengths, or should I say our weaknesses too. We need to work on our kicking accuracy. It is as simple as that. It is as simple as that. But I need to remind you guys that if we beat the Crows, if we had just kicked straight, we would have beaten the Crows already by halftime. And even that little movement that they did there in the third wouldn't have even affected us. But again, our kicking is, I don't know. I'm sure the boys are kicking straight goals in practice. I'm sure they're getting it, but whenever it's transferred into the footy field, we just can't seem to get it done. So again, we need to address that issue. Hopefully kicking as well. Again, for me, another issue I had with the boys is sometimes they look a bit lost in the middle. I watched it live, so it's probably a bit different to what it was like on the telly, but I just feel like in patches there, the boys looked lost, particularly in the midfield. There was some good ball fluidity, which is great. It was a good strength that we saw. It was beautiful to see. But again, defensively as well, especially when Crows were going, I'm not sure. Like, we just weren't there. Our defenders weren't there. Some halfbacks were there. Again, players that you expect to just sort of close the gap, particularly momentum. We just couldn't stop the momentum, and the bleeding was pretty bad in the third. So again, for me, we just need to sort of rectify that, particularly our backs as well. We need our fullbacks, our defenders to really defend. But in saying that, like I said, fluidity is our strength. I think we do have a very good midfield as well. Besides that, especially in the offense as well. Jordan Clark's big boot, Hayden Young as well. Hopefully in the forwards as well, we can do some damage. I'm sure we can, but again, it just all depends there. But for me, the strength we have is our midfield, right? And our defenders. So hopefully if those two can be in unison, it'll be a good game overall. My prediction for this game here, like I said, if you're putting in the emotions for both teams, especially the key outs, this might be a game that might be tighter than we think. I hope not. I hate those tight games when Freo are in it all the time. Not very good for the heart or the brain. But in this game here, like I said, we've got to watch out for the emotion, right? Particularly key outs. But for me personally, I'm going to be tipping Freo here. I've already tipped Freo to win, but I'm going to be going for Freo here. And I reckon they'll have about, by 3 to 4 goals, I reckon. Yep, by 3 to 4 goals. Yeah, that's what I think. Tell me your thoughts. Long story short, guys, it is so much better when Freo actually are playing good footy. It's so much better when Freo are being consistent. It's so much better when Freo are doing the things you just love to see. Ultimately, we need the win. End of story. Obviously, we've got a very tight fight here. There are a few teams who are looking promising and strong. Swans as well yesterday, 2 in a row. Carlton as well, 2 in a row. We need to follow suit. In saying that, enjoy your footy today for the Saturday. And tomorrow, may we win. Well, I hope we win. We will win. All right. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching. And just remember, don't argue.